Welcome to Trading Lounge and the Australian report for the 29th of April. So this is one count that I've got here that that's going to be ending very shortly. So it's going to be a little bit sort of interesting in that what I've been doing is looking at 5 waves from this low of blue wave 4 here going up into this section here for this. So it's been looking at a little 5 wave structure here, and we've just finished wave 4 by the looks of it, and we're just going up into finishing off wave 5 here. So it's possible to have a top in here based on all of this here. Now what I wanted to say is that picking tops or bottoms is pretty dangerous, and you need to gather evidence. So when we do finish this little 5 wave sequence here, all I'm going to do is I'm just going to be patiently waiting to see if I get a corrective pattern here, which we will buy the high on the second high, or will we get an impulse wave to the downside in 5 waves? And if we get 5 waves to the downside, then we can start looking at the 3 wave counter trend and then another move down here, and we can look to go short on this second high, second low over here for that. Okay, so I just wanted to say that. I have other counts that can take us much higher, and I expect that because the other point too is that this is the old high over here at 7,200 roughly, and we're approaching that here at the moment. And as I may have mentioned before, that markets with double tops are never the end of the trend. So when we get a double top over here, I know it's not the end. I know we're going further. It's just how we're going further up, or how far are we going to pull back, and all those sorts of things. When we approach a top over here, sometimes they fall off short. There's a little gap there, I noticed. Sometimes they'll hit right on there and do it, and then other times they'll push a bit higher and then play around with that high. So they'll all have their own little sort of personalities, but we can certainly expect something to occur, you know, in that space. The other point that I wanted to make here too is that because we've got 5 waves, whichever way we want to look at it here, because we've got 5 waves here, after a correction we're going to get another 5 up. But I think that I'm thinking that we will change this count, and it will look a little bit like this here, with wave 1 here and 2 here for this, and then going up for wave 3. Now with wave 3 going up here, the thing is that I can have wave 1 and 2 here. I won't go into that right now, but what I wanted to say is that we'd be going further up. So if I took that low there and just took this high here as wave 1 and so the length of wave 1 here, for instance, and we drag that across here and we put it on the low of wave 2 here, just pointing out that this would be the equality here. So if we were looking at wave 1 here and 2 here, then this wave 3 here, that would have to be higher than, have to be longer than wave 1 here. So that takes us up to 7,500. So that tells me at that point I'd need to go back, and my mistake is in here somewhere. So I'd need to do that. So they're the 2 points that I want to talk about. And just to rehash the first one here, we're looking at 5 waves moving up here. Once that's finished, we're just going to be a little bit patient to see what we've got at that point in this space here. So let's just cruise in on that note. These are the last little 5 waves I'm talking about, as wave 1 and 2 here, and then going up for wave 3 and 4 here, and then going up for wave 5. And we know that 7,200 is the old high there, 72 number. So it's how we count this here. I mean, in first instance, it would look like sensible to count this as wave 1 here and 2 here in that case, wouldn't it? And wave 3 up there. But I have to say wave 1 is not counting very, I'm going to need these anyway, but wave 1 is not counting very well as a wave 1 in this regard here. So we need to investigate that, because it looks like we can count wave 1 up to here, then 2 here, then 3 and 4, and then going up for 5 here, just making a new high here and folding over. But that doesn't look right either. We'll go to the tick chart here. Yesterday also too, we were looking at, because this appeared to be 5 waves down here, and there's a good case for that. Then I was, a bit stuck on the B wave moving back up to here, and that would give us 3 waves up there. We can go in and count this, but in a nutshell, we're looking at, I suppose we could count. I'll double check it. And then move down that point. But the point was that we could go long above this high here for that, because then that would turn that into a 3-wave correction, and we wouldn't get this far. We could still get this as an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave here, and then drop back down here. It's not like, a B wave can take the top out here. So we just also need to be mindful of that. But in this case, the wave 4 pulled back to the 38.2% retracement level. It didn't do that in the S&P and the NASDAQ. So this B wave idea is still floating around for the S&P and the NASDAQ. So we'll just keep that there for a moment, because I need to resolve this problem. It's good though in that we can see here at the 7,000 that the market's come up and had its first little high above the level and had its correction. Just maybe this is just, I can count it as an ABC pattern, but it just doesn't look right. It's just a little A wave here and a B wave here, and then big long C wave here. So it's kind of left scratching my head, and I can't see an expanded flat over here as an A and a B and a C here, because this would need to be in 3 waves here, and it's clearly in 5 waves. So yeah, still a little bit of a puzzle here, but I have to say it's sitting very nicely on the 7,000, isn't it? It's, being long here, or we could have improved it a bit lower here, but we're on the right side at the right time, because that's what we normally do, is really just trade to the level, get out, and then wait for the reaction, the first high above the level, the correction, and then try and find a way in above the level. So we've done that, a little bit high and all the rest of it. And yeah, look, it may come back and test it because of this here. I'm just not quite sure. When we look at it on the tick chart, this leg here, that B wave leg, see here I can count down 1 and 2, and then 1 and 2, and then nice third. Well, I could put that to there, but yeah, no, it's better fit there. And then nice 5 waves here. So it all fits quite nicely as a 5 wave. So I'm left a bit I'm feeling a bit stupid, but I can't see where I've gone wrong here. So, I counted up here as an A wave up here and a B wave, because we've got 5 waves here. And then I started counting up here as 1 and 2, and all the way up here for 3, because 5 waves in here, and 4 and 5 to the 3rd wave here, which would make wave C of B here for that. And then we were looking, well, do we come down for the B wave and keep coming down here, or do we, continue up at that point? So we decided to go long above here for that, but we still need, and that gives us, well, if I wanted to count it up as 5 waves, it's not a very good 5 waves though, as wave 1 here and 2 here, and then wave 3 here and 4 here, and then going up for wave 5 here. But wave 4 here overlaps wave 1 here, so that's another problem here. So I'm sort of left wondering, is it possible to have wave C over here and wave B here, and then look at all of this here as an ABC for the A wave here, and a B wave over here for this, and then the C wave here for that. I'm not quite sure about that, but this little move here, you can see how this counts in here quite nicely now. So we could look at this as a starting point as 1 and 2 here, then 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, maybe 1, 2, yeah, looks like it, doesn't it? I'll just put wave 3 there, and wave 4 and wave 5. So we've still got to move to the upside here. Typical Thursday, today's Thursday, isn't it? Yeah, opening higher and then closing lower for the day. So we just need to be mindful about that. So we could put these guys here for that. could put that as wave 1 there. But so if you're trading long here for this, it does look like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the third, fourth here somewhere. Yeah, it looks about right. Then you'd really need to exit this trade up here somewhere. So being Thursday and everything, I think like taking the money off the table at 7,100 would be a sensible thing to do at this point, and then we'll just observe it, because we can also look for I'm going to say a classic trading levels pattern here, but one of the problems is in doing that here is that because the market's already dealt with it over here in a bigger way, and then we've got all this accumulation here, we may not get what we're looking for here. We may not see that nice classic trading levels pattern here, which would be within group 1 here. So we've got 7,000, we've got 10, 20 and 30 roughly speaking. But if we get support on top of 30, there a tested support on top of 30, that's going to push us up to 50, and we're going to leave that. So be noteful that if this just continues to move up and we get support on 71.30 classic trading levels pattern in here, then the market's going to go up and it's going to leave this number here. But otherwise we would use this here as group 1 here and group 2 here down to the 65 here, and that would be the natural swing range for whatever's going to occur in this space here. And this is where we would pick it up to go long again somewhere over here for that. But let's just allow this to tap out. It may go up a little bit higher. Okay, let's have a look at some banks and so on. I haven't looked at anything this morning. So Commonwealth Bank, also giving us a bit of a classic trading levels pattern here for this. I feel like we've still got further to go, as I mentioned yesterday, with all of this. So yeah, it's good now. It's pushing up through this. So this will be the first high above the level. So we could count 5 waves here and then look for a correction. So it'd be wave 1 and 2 in here somewhere, nice strong third wave here and a fourth wave here for this. So we should see another move up here, but at the same time we should see a correction down here as well. So it will give us the first high above the level up here for that. But yeah, no, I just feel this, once this gets support here, we'll just see it continue to climb to the upside. ANZ is, just go through these a bit quickly, it's pushing off nicely. So we've been looking at wave 3 here with an A and a B and a C wave here, and then been looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for wave 1 here, back for wave 2. We're starting to see wave 3 take off nicely here, nice strong move here. So then we'll see wave 4 and wave 5 here, and don't forget that this will be driving the banks. I mean, this will be driving, the banks will be driving the S&P 5, the ASX200 for this. So that's a good point for this market. So we can expect, well, we can expect some trouble at the old high here, but generally speaking, we should see a nice move up here for wave 3 and then wave 4 and then wave 5. So yeah, we're all good here at the moment. We can half our risk here thereabouts by pushing that up into that space. Okay, let's have a look at the iron ores and metals and so on. So iron ores just a bit pretty flat here at the moment. But yeah, as I mentioned before, we're going to have problems getting through the old highs here. But as far as this trend is concerned, it's 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. It's still got just sort of, yeah, I see it now. So that will be, this is a little wave 4 here. And then we've got a little wave coming in here for that. Is that, hang on a second. That's 1 and 2 here. And that's 3 and 4 and 5. So wave 3 is going to be down here for that. Wave 4 is going to be over here. And then wave 5 here for that. So look, we got, I won't go into it too much, but that's, we've still got plenty more in the iron ore. So Fortescue and Rio and all those guys, they're going to still continue to move higher. So that's all good. And let's just cruise into gold. So with gold here, we've been looking for wave 2 to pull back, so we can put that wave 2 in here now, and this is looking really good now for gold stocks in that regard. We still need to get past that B wave high here, or do I need to look at this a little bit differently? Do I need to look at this as 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, but wave 4 overlaps wave 1? I think we should be okay looking at it like this. But taking that top out there is what we're looking for. So we're not there yet, and yes, it could fail from this point. It does look impulsive of 1 and 2, a nice third wave, fourth and fifth. So perhaps we could go that way, you know, look at 1 here and 2 here and 3 here and 4 here and 5 here for this. And then because we get those 5 waves, and I'll check those out when I do the gold video, then there'll be a pullback here. So then we can look to move in over this side over here for that. Because we get 5 here, that means we're going to get another 5 over here. So that will send us, you know, that will launch us at the right time for this. I mean, the idea generally was this is the big number here. So really what we wanted to do was we wanted to really have that as support, because in the bigger picture we can see that it's, you know, the resistance, and we know, you know, 8 is the third strongest number. And yeah, so also to here a bit of a classic trading levels pattern, the arrival, the reaction, the first high above the level, and then an ABC of some description. But yeah, no, it's recovered nicely, looking good, but it hasn't told us to go buy gold stocks yet. I mean, it probably has, but as far as using Elliott is concerned, it hasn't. So just have a quick look at silver while I'm here as well. I haven't seen silver. Okay, silver's got this is just it's a nicer ABC pattern, isn't it? So we could put that up here now and so on here. Don't need that. We're looking for that move up, so that's good. So yeah, it's looking, I mean, it's still not over here because it still could be down for 1 and back, and ABC back for 2 here. You know what I mean? So we need to see 5 waves here, or we need to see that top taken out, and then that helps confirm that. So yeah, just need to be a little bit mindful there, but certainly looking better and better and better every day. CRUDE, oh, that's interesting. So it's pushed up there. Okay. I thought we might still be looking for this. I'll leave this for another session, see how we go. I mean, we really want that 6,500 as support to buy stock, but anyway, it's all good. And copper, pretty flat, but yeah, we're just moving up to the 10,000, so all good. The Australian dollar's lagging a fair bit within all of this, I have to say, but doing all the right things. Just thinking out loud, I'm not sure if we should put wave 1 here and 2 here for this, and then look at this as wave 3, 4 and 5 up here for this. Just put this here to remind me to look at it. The reason I'm saying that doing this for is because this structure here is really quite strong as a third wave compared to this one, you know. So this one could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here for wave 1 in green and 2 in green, and then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 for the third wave here, fourth wave to pull back. Something like that just for the third wave. I need to ponder that a bit more. It's hard to see the market leave 10,000 though. 1 is the strongest number, and it's, you know, we need to heed the warning of this particular pattern here. But let's just see if we get a decent sell-off here first. But anyway, we're just toying with that. But as far as I can see, copper stocks you can just keep holding, which is obviously BHP, because we'll see further rise in that. And I'll just go and have a look at the Australian dollar at the moment. So just on the 4-hour chart, it's lagging copper, so it should catch up with a bit of speed now. We should see this really take off, because if we do view this as wave 1 and 2 here, and this is 1 and 2, well, that's the blue wave 3 that we're in, and then we're in green wave 3 as well. So we're in the third of the third here, and then we could probably also just squeeze in another third wave in here. So we should see, you know, if we see the resources push up today with the banks, then we'll probably see this move along as well. We can also move the stop up a little bit as well. Under this one, I'll keep it under the 72 though, of course, but it all helps. Just check on the 1-hour chart, because we had other trades in down here with all of that. So that's all good. Just clean this up a little bit. So this top here can go over here for that now. This one, don't need that. Don't need that. Don't need that. Don't need that. Push this one up over here for that. That's going to be way up there. We don't need these. We can just borrow these over here now for these. So I think this is a really good buying opportunity, really. I mean, we're already in it, but do you know what I mean? That we've already built into this, but the crowd will be coming now. So you've been the early bird catching the worm here. Good for you. So yeah, we should see this move along quite nicely in this space. It's all gearing up here. Okay, enough waffling. Moving along, just have a look at stocks. I want to have a look at BHP in the US first, because yeah, it's pushed up nicely. That's good. All on track here as well. So we're looking for wave 5 of 3 here. It could be wave C. Put that over there, but I doubt it. As an A, I can't rule it out as an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave here. I can't rule it out. This is a 50-60% retracement level, but I don't think it's an ABC rally based on what we can see with iron ore and copper and so on, and crude oil and all the rest of it. So I just see this continuing to move up. The BHP for the New York desk here has got a nice count, easier to count than the Australian one, as you know, which comes and goes as a bit of a mess. Let me see, BHP. Difficult to count this up here. I still haven't had time to ponder it, but as I mentioned yesterday, we can look at this as wave 1 here with an ABC for wave 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here for the third wave that we're looking for, the fourth wave here, and then going up for the fifth wave here. It's still a little bit stubby, that wave 3, but I'll look at that a bit later. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah, so we'll see that jump up today. Further up. I'm not going to add any more trades here. We've got one here, one here. We can bring that up here a little bit closer. Just bring it to there. No need to take it all the way up because we took a percentage here for that. But speaking, we should see this top get taken out here. At the top's at 50. Roughly, so we'll see that get taken out and move higher at that point. Looks a little bit like wave 1 here. But don't worry about that too much. It just sort of jumped out at me, so I need to I need to acknowledge it. That's all. I have to trust my intuition. I'll put that first. Then I'll try to figure it out later. Yeah, the intuition seems to access knowledge without any hindrance. So you've got to flow with that and then go back and do your homework. Anyway, that's good. Let's go to Rio Fortescue. So Fortescue's had a nice count really. So it's been easy on us. So we've had the A wave, the B wave. That was a bit of a problem, but anyway, we got there and we dropped into the C wave, and then we just were fortunate enough to have this nice 5-wave structure here. So we're able to go long in amongst all of this, being above the level, and then long again. And we can see that, you know, if we look at this as wave 1 here and 2 here, then we can see that we're building into this nice 3rd wave here that's not in blue here, that's not finished yet. I mean, if I took a guess, I would say that somewhere through there, that would be the halfway mark from the bottom of wave, the start of wave 1 here, going up to say $25 mark up here. We're going to run into problems here for few reasons. The number 3, the 23, that's the top of group 1, so we're seeing a classic trading levels pattern here. So we'll see that play out like this somehow. And then move up, so that would be another entry there if you wanted to, or you could buy this pullback here if you wanted to as well. It doesn't matter because I can see that we still got further to go, so it's a bit of a case of doesn't matter what you're doing as long as you know what you're doing, because we can see that buying the pullbacks in a 3rd wave is what you should be doing, you know. So buying anywhere around the $22 mark would be good, and start taking profits at 25, but we'll be going higher than that. And I didn't get to look at Rio, but yeah, so I'm not sure about this count, so don't pay too much attention to that. But the important point here is that the 61.8% is roughly around the 120. We're cruising through that without any problems. I mentioned yesterday we can look at this here as wave 1 here and 2 here, and probably 3 here, and we're looking for 4 here. So there's wave 4, and we'll look for wave 5. So this part of the count is fine. I can see that, so that's not a problem. That's good. We're going up higher. From 120 to 130, that's all of minor group 1, but then we've got in here, if you wanted to work with it again, we've got 1, 2 and 3 and 5 and 8 here. They'll all play out in their own way. I'm not sure about all of this here for this. I still need to ponder that, but I'm not worried because I'm just really, you know, we went long on all of these because of where iron ore and copper and so on were, and the Australian dollar. So we use that as our guide stick, and that has served us well. Alrighty, I'll leave it at that. I'll just have a quick look at New Crest Mining. So it's still come down a lot, so that's a bit of a problem. And it's down on higher volume as well, so that's not a good look, but that should find support today. Let's just see how that plays out. Just have a quick look at this. It's not that helpful. Anyway, I've got to go back to the tick chart and check all this count. So I'll leave it at that, and thank you for tuning in. Cheers.